Hi, I'm Laura Brandenburg from Bridging the Gap, and today we're going to talk about how to get your organization to create a new business analyst role just for you, right? So many on the path starting business analyst careers, they find themselves in organizations with no business analyst role. And in this situation, the question often becomes, do I need to seek new opportunities outside of my organization, or can I create a business analyst role right here? So one of the many paths into your first business analyst role is actually proposing a new business analyst role in your current organization. And I've seen many business analysts do this very successfully, and it's a great way to get started as you prepare yourself to move into a new industry or a new type of organization. So we're going to walk through a step-by-step process for how to actually make this happen. So step one is you need to understand your organization's current state. This requires business analysis, right? And there are three primary criteria that need to be in place within your organization for a new business analyst role to be created. So number one, there needs to be a clear benefit or problem to be solved by adding business analysis competencies to your organization. We need to know what problem you are going to be solving as a business analyst. Number two, there needs to be enough project or process work to fill the plate of a full-time employee. And number three, there needs to be management support for the role. Now, while it's relatively rare for the first one not to be true, meaning every organization has some sort of problem that could be solved with business analysis, it's not uncommon for individuals in other roles to just be picking up those key business analysis responsibilities. So from an organizational perspective, it really doesn't look like there's enough work for the business analyst to do to fill a full-time role. And so that's where you can see people move into hybrid roles as a starting point. And one thing I really want to emphasize for you there, if you're doing business analysis as part of another role, you get to be a business analyst. Like you already are a business analyst, so your path might be less of creating a new role and more about expanding the business analysis responsibilities you have within your current role. Now, number two is often not fulfilled in smaller organizations, right? So if you're in a super small organization or organizations that have very little to invest in upgraded systems and processes, like there really might not be enough true business analyst work for a full-time business analyst role. And so you would need to propose some sort of hybrid role instead, or just start taking on those responsibilities to create a hybrid role out of the role that you're already in. But often we see number one and number two are met, but we still don't have number three. We don't have that management support. It's so critical. And this is where you have an opportunity to educate your management team about what kinds of problems that you could be solving as a business analyst and what kinds of projects a BA could be working on and how that's going to add more value to your company. So from that point, once you get to kind of identifying the current state, step two is to identify a valuable business analyst role in your organization, right? So take some time to understand what are the key responsibilities and skill sets needed to really contribute value to my organization. Essentially, you want to write your own business analyst job description. Now that might seem counterintuitive. Like, don't you want somebody to come to you and be like, hey, would you like to fill this business analyst role? And yeah, wouldn't that be awesome for somebody to hand you a business analyst role, like all wrapped up perfectly and tied up with a bow for you? That would be amazing. And if that happens, raise your hand and go for it, right? You could just skip ahead to step four, which is applying for the position. But what we often see is you have to create that role for yourself. And there's actually a lot of value in creating that job description and identifying the role that both you see as valuable in your organization, but that you also want to fulfill, right? So you get to decide what's important and what responsibilities that you might have. And it's really, really important, I don't want to underestimate this, that you create a role that's perceived as immediately valuable to the organization. That's going to help you kind of speed through the process a little bit. So one resource that you can leverage here, and it's linked below, is our Business Analyst Skills Assessment. That's a great way to just assess your skills and see where you stand as a business analyst. It's also a great list of responsibilities that you could hold as a business analyst for your company. So it's a great starting point for that job description if you're feeling stuck. Now, step three is to propose the role to your management team. So job description in hand, you've done some research. At this point, hopefully you've kind of started planting seeds about what might be available as an opportunity and what you're looking for in your career. You want to sit down and actually show them that you thought this through and that you have a specific role in mind, and or it might not be your manager. It might be a different manager in a different department that really could be well served by having a business analyst. So you want to show that you understand the problems and opportunities, and then how the person filling that business analyst role could solve those problems. So share tangible examples where you can of how business analyst activities, even if you don't have an official role, have already helped create value in your organization. So show where you've done a business process and saved stakeholder time. Show where you've helped communicate with the developers and put real clear functional requirements together and how that made a project go more smoothly. All right, so show the work that you've already done in your current role. So your actions will definitely be received better if you've already begun to incorporate business analyst activities into your work. And that's why I always recommend, like, whether you have the role or not, just start doing some business analysis. And that's one of the things that we help our participants go through and do in the Business Analyst Blueprint certification program as well, is focus on applying business analyst practices regardless of what their job title is, because those actions speak way louder than words. Now, because when your stakeholders can see the impact of business analysis in action, they're more likely to embrace the idea and, like, I want more of that. Like, this is really making a difference, right? And by that point, you've pretty much created the value and solidified the value, and it becomes more of a kind of making it quote unquote official. So step 4 is to actually apply for the role. Now, just because you succeed in getting that new role created doesn't necessarily mean that you will be the one chosen to fill it. Often it is. Often there's already a bit of an agreement in place, but a lot of organizations have formal HR practices. Like, a manager may need to like put up an application process and invite other people in the company to apply, or even look at external candidates, right? So you want to continue to put your best foot forward. Have a resume that really articulates your business analyst experiences and how you've contributed value to the company. Prepare for your interviews. Be in a position to position yourself as a qualified candidate, and just treat it as if you were applying to a new job outside of your company, and you have to demonstrate all of your skills. That's how you put your best foot forward. Now, in particular, though, you have an advantage because you can speak to experience doing similar activities in the past for this organization, and you have like a network, hopefully, of people who can validate that they enjoy working with you and that you have contributed value to their teams. That makes it a lot easier for you to be hired. So it's also a great time to share any professional development you've done to grow your business analysis skills, whether that's downloading some templates and using them, attending webinars, being part of a full-fledged certification program like we offer here at Bridging the Gap. Just showing that you have been really putting effort behind your intentions and you are ready to hit the ground running in this new role. So now along the way, sometimes this big process takes a little time to work itself out, right? Like, things get stopped. Maybe there's not a budget. Maybe there's a management change and new roles aren't being introduced, right? You might hear no for the first time. You might hear no the second time or the third time. It doesn't mean you have to give up, but you do want to keep your eyes open for other opportunities. So keep your eyes open for things like your organization starting a new project, right? Like a bigger project than they've done before. It's a great time to step in and offer to help be the business analyst, because who else is going to do it? It could be a key individual that's filling business analysis responsibilities, even if they don't have the title, decides to leave the company, and you could, or go on an extended leave, right? Could you fill in for them or volunteer to do some of that work while they're looking for the replacement? It sets you up to be the replacement. Or just looking for where your organization starts to grow unexpectedly, or have new issues or challenges related to like increased customers or just problems popping up with technology, right? Be on task forces, SWAT teams, any new sort of projects to deal with the issues or the opportunities, and take on as many business analyst responsibilities as you can. So the core message I want you to take from this particular video is by demonstrating the value of business analysis to meet those short-term needs, you will often be able to create the long-term business analyst role that you really want right within your organization. So just keep pushing the envelope, keep communicating your value, keep continuing to volunteer to do those things. And if it doesn't set you up for a role in this organization, it's going to help you create an opportunity in another organization. So either way, you're the winner. And again, I just want to remind you, if you'd like to explore this further with us, we have a free download, the Business Analyst Skills Assessment. It's a great way to just get a sense of where your strengths are as a business analyst and what you could do to grow your career further. And that's what I have to share with you today. I can't wait to hear about your success in creating a new business analyst role in your current organization or finding your next opportunity in a different organization. I'm Laura Brandenburg from Bridging the Gap, and our biggest success is you succeeding in your business analyst career. So thanks for being here.